Hello and welcome to the 18 WJTS News for Monday, July 28, 2025. Thank you so much for choosing us for your local news coverage this evening. I'm Kaitlyn Neukam reporting. According to Indianapolis-based news source 93.1 FM WIBC, the former Indiana State Police Superintendent Doug Carter says the investigation into DuBois County Sheriff Tom Kleinhelter's misuse of jail commissary funds took pause after Mike Braun became governor of Indiana earlier this year. Carter shared with the Kendall and Casey podcast hosted by WIBC that someone within those circles must have discussed the matter, asserting that this is the only logical and irrefutable conclusion. As Governor Mike Braun is well known for being a lifelong resident of DuBois County, the local connection and significance was not lost on Carter. Doug Carter recently retired from the ISP superintendent position back in January of 2025 after serving as the longest-running ISP superintendent for the state of Indiana for a total of 12 consecutive years. Quote, "A logical conclusion with anybody that reads this or sees this or hears it would be there was some level of interference," Carter said. Carter also spoke about longtime detective Jeffrey Herron, whose influence at the agency has been reduced and who was pushed out and made the target of an internal investigation, even though Carter says Herron was simply doing solid police work. Carter says Anthony Scott, who was appointed the 21st superintendent of the Indiana State Police, has not discussed the case with him and won't acknowledge it. At one point, Carter said he pulled an investigator off the case when progress stalled and put Herron on it. That's when things started moving forward. However, Carter added the state police later targeted Herron with an internal investigation, and after that internal investigation concluded, Herron got moved to a job that, quote, "doesn't matter," according to Carter. Carter shared the importance of sharing this information now, quote, "As I watched a couple of events that occurred and cases that occurred on my watch, I'm mortified at how they've been handled. The right thing to do is what I'm doing. The wrong thing would be to do nothing," end quote. You can find the original article published by Ryan Hendrick for 93.1 FM WIBC on our website. A high-speed chase in Gibson County ended with a two-vehicle crash and one man arrested. On Saturday, July 26 at approximately 10 a.m., Gibson County Central Dispatch was notified that the Evansville Police Department had been involved in a brief vehicle pursuit of a white 2013 Buick over a traffic infraction. A decision was made to terminate the pursuit, but after investigating the suspected driver, which was 30-year-old Austin Butcher of Evansville, it was discovered that the driver had an active felony theft warrant through Warwick County. It was also found that Butcher had an active and open case through Evansville for threats to a person. Law enforcement personnel tracked the vehicle to rural Cynthiana area, and when a deputy was at the Posey-Gibson County line, he observed the vehicle traveling in the opposite direction. At that point, the deputy turned around attempting to conduct a traffic stop, but upon doing so, the suspect's vehicle accelerated to speeds over 100 miles per hour, leading officers to a chase. The Buick was pursued by law enforcement officers through the towns of Johnson and Owensville, and as the vehicle exited Owensville and took county roads towards Princeton, an officer deployed stop sticks on White Church Road in Princeton. The suspect's vehicle continued northbound before colliding with a maroon 2020 Ford truck at the intersection of White Church Road and State Road 64. Butcher was taken into custody while emergency service personnel treated the driver and passenger of that Ford truck for non-life-threatening injuries, but serious injuries. Butcher is being charged with reckless driving, resisting law enforcement with a vehicle, and criminal recklessness with a vehicle involving serious bodily injury, in addition to numerous citations. An Iowa man is facing drug charges in Gibson County. On the evening of Friday, July 25th, deputies approached a male subject in a red 1996 Dodge Ram truck parked near Oakland City Old Lake, located around the 1200 block of East 100 South. While speaking with the driver, who was identified as 51-year-old Christopher Darnell of Hancock, Iowa, a firearm was observed lying inside on the seat, as well as the smell of burnt marijuana. At that point, a drug investigation was conducted, later resulting in the seizure of methamphetamines. Darnell was booked into the Gibson County Detention Center and is facing charges of possession of methamphetamines, possession of paraphernalia, and possession of marijuana. An Elberfeld woman is facing battery charges on Saturday, July 26 at approximately 1 p.m. Gibson County Central Dispatch received a 911 report of a rolling disturbance on State Road 168 near County Road 550 East. The caller stated they were able to exit the vehicle and stayed there till law enforcement arrived on the scene. Upon arriving, deputies spoke with the caller, who explained when they were struck by 54-year-old Trina Governor of Elberfeld, they jumped out of the still-moving vehicle. After the victim jumped from the vehicle, Governor left the area. Deputies transported the caller to their residence, where they then spoke with Governor, and at the investigation's conclusion, Governor was taken into custody. Governor was booked into the Gibson County Detention Center and is facing charges of battery. A 40-year-old man from Greencastle, Indiana, was pronounced dead Saturday after being found unresponsive on a raft at Rainbow Lake in Derby. Perry County Central Dispatch received the initial call around 2:30 p.m. on July 26, reporting concerns about a male subject who appeared to be unresponsive, with his head submerged in the water while hanging over a raft. Deputies, emergency responders, and medical personnel arrived to find the man unresponsive. He was pulled from the water and CPR was administered, but he was later pronounced dead at the scene by the Perry County coroner. The man was identified as Jason A. Briscoe. A preliminary autopsy was performed on Sunday, July 27th, and indicated a possible drowning as the cause of death. Final results are pending completion of that full autopsy report. The winners of the 2025 Jasper Strassenfest pageants were recently crowned at the competition held on Saturday, July 26th. The winners for this year include Grace Bartley as your 2025 Miss Strassenfest, Nora Goins as the 2025 Junior Miss Strassenfest, Paisley Yates as the 2025 Little Miss Strassenfest, and Nolan Edminster, the 2025 Little Mr. Strassenfest. 18 WJTS will broadcast the Little Miss and Mr. pageants on Wednesday, August 6th at 8 p.m. and the Miss and Junior Miss pageants at 8 p.m. Each will be available to watch on the 18 WJTS YouTube channel following their initial airing. The Jasper City Council will soon hold a special meeting to give an update and receive public input on the Mid-States Corridor project. This meeting will be held on Thursday, August 14th at 5:30 p.m. at the Jasper City Council chambers. The public is encouraged to attend in person or by Zoom video conference. You can find more information about the virtual meeting link on our website. And a reminder that INDOT has begun intermittent lane closures for State Road 162 in DuBois County. Beginning today, crews will begin intermittent lane closures on State Road 162 near Jasper. These lane closures will occur between State Road 64 and US 231. Intermittent lane closures will allow for mobile road maintenance operations. These operations include road patching and paving. Work is expected to last through mid-October, depending on the weather. During lane closures, traffic will be controlled utilizing a flagger. One lane of traffic will remain open during work, and INDOT urges drivers to slow down and stay alert in all work zones. And that is your Monday news right here on 18 WJTS. Next up is your weather forecast.